Now on Nightside, how student journalists are handling covering the murders of their peers in Moscow.
And we've got low clouds and fog and a winter weather advisory in your first alert forecast.
Plus, West Spokane County Sheriff's Office, SPD, and Spokane Valley PD were all at Camp Hope today as the attempts to close down the camp continue. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Tomorrow morning, Moscow police will begin returning some of the personal belongings of the 4 students killed in their home back to their families. Thanks for joining us for Nightside. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The Moscow police chief says this step is an important part of the healing process for the families of the victims.
It's important for us as a department to go in and take care of the families and get the items for them. I'm a dad. I understand the meaning behind some of those things. It may be something that we gave one of our children or something, and we're just trying to bring some of that healing.
Police say those items are no longer needed for the investigation. The items will be moved to a secure location until the families can pick them up. The Moscow murder case is being covered by reporters from across the country, including the university's newspaper. One student journalist says it's been an emotional and frustrating process so far. He says from day one, they've witnessed a storm of misinformation. The story has attracted media teams from across the country.
There were so many reporters and national news outlets out here just harassing students, as well as people just kind of preying on the vulnerability of the town.
Well, the many rumors being reported have left the student body scared and confused. They turned to Daniel Ramirez and the news team at the Argonaut. Despite having an emotional tie to the community and student body, Ramirez has put his emotions on the back burner, working to get students and the community the truth.
We want to give them the right information, the correct information, and not cause any more harm to the families or friends of the victims.
Ramirez admits with such close ties to the university, it can be hard to shelf all the difficult feelings that come with a story like this.
Often you hear police offering a reward for any information leading to an arrest. The Idaho State Police say that would actually do more harm than good in this case.
At times when there is a reward or money offered, that the quantity and quality of tips actually degrade a little bit, and so people are trying to provide information that may not even be what would be a reasonable tip, just to see if there's some money available to them.
Police have released very limited updates over the last few days with no murder weapon and no suspects. Fear and frustration continue to spread across the community of Moscow. But investigators say they are working around the clock to find the killer.
This is a very active case. We're doing a lot of work. Granted, not a lot of it that can be seen in public, but behind the scenes there's a lot of people working on this case, and we're going to continue.
There's more of a focus on the timeline of events leading up to the murders that could potentially be the key to unlocking more in this investigation and the search for a killer.
Our website, we have a page tracking the timeline that investigators are working with. That will be updated as new information comes in. You can find that timeline. It's on the front page of KXLY.com. Spokane police arrested a man for firing more than a dozen shots near Riverfront Park today. No one was hit. It happened near the park's entrance on Spokane Falls Boulevard around 8 this morning. Police say Benjamin Crowfoot fired the shots. Officers found a gun and 2 empty magazines. A parking meter was knocked over by someone trying to get away from the area in their car. Crowfoot was arrested on several charges, including 28 counts of reckless endangerment.
New on Nightside.
After a hard-fought campaign, you've got me for 6 more years.
It looks like Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock will keep his Senate seat. He defeats Republican challenger Herschel Walker in the Georgia runoff. This gives Democrats 51 seats in the Senate, solidifying their majority. This runoff was held after neither candidate received more than 50% of the vote during the November 8th election. Well, we all need to bundle up, of course, but also get ready to scrape the windshield tomorrow morning.
Another round of freezing drizzle on the way. Chris Crocker's here with what you can expect. Chris?
Yes, that Freezing drizzle not only coating windshields, but sidewalks, parking lots, and untreated streets. That is why there is a winter weather advisory until noon tomorrow for the area shaded in purple on your screen, including the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. We also have some freezing fog in process right now. Here's a look at visibility around the region. We're down to 0 at Spokane International Airport, only 1 mile at Fairchild Air Force Base, and it is turning into a drizzly, very icy evening on the roadways. Meanwhile, here's a look at our temperatures right now. They really haven't changed much today. We've been holding steady in the lower to mid 20s in Spokane. We're 23 right now at the airport, 23 in Cheney. It's 26 in Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, and 25 right now in Post Falls. Around the region, temperatures primarily in the 20s, a few 30s on the map, and we're down to 14 degrees at Winthrop. In your Wednesday planner, our average high is 35. We will be lucky to top out at 30. We'll have that drizzle and the fog and low clouds through the first part of the day, and then may start to see that taper off as we get into the afternoon, but it is going to be a gray day. And then the next round of snow is on the way behind this drizzle, and that's going to be a little more impressive. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. And be sure to download the 4 News Now weather app to get the most up-to-date weather information and get alerts sent straight to your phone where you are when you need them. A local law enforcement were at Camp Hope handing out flyers which say the camp will close, but the flyers do not specify any dates.
Camp managers in WashDOT said the visit was a surprise today. They said that they found out officers were on the way just a few hours before they showed up. So the flyer has information about mental health and addiction services, as well as where to find free meals. It also says people can find alternative shelter at the Trent Resource and Assistance Center or at several of the city's additional emergency shelters. Camp manager Maurice Smith says people have been moving to the Trent shelter and more plan to go to the newly opened Catalyst housing, but says that the police visit today scared people still living in the camp.
And having 12 officers come through the camp just scares the heck out of our people. It's not good for their mental health. Now they think they're about to be swept out of the camp, and they're scared to death. And that's not fair. It's not fair to scare people.
We reached out to Spokane Police, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, as well as the city, and Spokane Police say this visit was to let people know the camp is closing and to make them aware of other options.
Well, this evening, WashDOT sent us a statement saying, in part, the action the city and county decided to take today is extremely disappointing. And they go on to say the actions today are only instilling fear into those who are there. Empire Health also released a statement saying, in part, all regional shelters combined do not have enough beds for everyone left at Camp Hope. They go on to say, if the city, county, and local law enforcement are genuinely interested in helping Camp Hope residents access critical services, they are welcome to pick up the phone and call those of us who are actively working to accomplish this each and every day.
Let's talk about Gonzaga basketball, shall we? Gonzaga women's basketball might be the most shorthanded team in the entire country. After a flurry of injuries and illnesses, the Bulldogs only had 7 players available tonight against Queen's University of Charlotte. Luckily for the Zags, they still had one of their best players out there, Yvonne Ejim. Ejim had herself a game. She comes up with the steal here on defense. Ejim also scored a career-high 32 points for Gonzaga. Only 7 players? No problem. Bulldogs win 73-49. Ejim's 32 points was just 6 points shy of the Gonzaga single game scoring record of 38 points. The Bulldogs host UC Davis at 2 o'clock on Sunday. And coming up in our full sportscast, we will hear from Ejim about tonight's big time performance, guys.
All right, thanks, Julian. Still had tips to protect yourself from scammers when you shop for gifts online.
Plus, how one neighbor's quick thinking saved a Spokane farm.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
Find the perfect gift for your wine lover during our 12 days of gifting.
A new special every day. Visit us online or like us on Facebook.
Come in to Latah Creek today. Sip, shop, ship most anywhere in the USA.
Cheers.
This holiday season, Walker's Furniture and Drew Timmy are teaming up with the help of KXLY to give some person or family in need the gift of a better night's sleep.
My favorite color is purple.
Just go to KXLY.com and nominate the person or family who could use a new mattress. And on December 21st, we'll announce the winner.
Thank you, KXLY, for helping Walker's Furniture and myself spread the word for this great cause. Together, we can make a difference.
I'm Chad Young from the Easy Home Buyer, and I pay cash for houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast for cash, call us today for your no obligation as-is cash offer. We buy houses in any condition, and there are no fees, no commissions, and no repairs. We buy houses with tenants, fixer-uppers, bare land, even haunted houses. Woo! Call us today or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see all that you are? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente.
It's like the Avengers have arrived.
I'm here to have some fun.
The buzziest late show on Hollywood Boulevard. Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Is there anything he won't brag about?
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Flags are at half-staff in Spokane tonight in remembrance of the Western Washington police officer who died last month. Bellevue police officer Jordan Jackson grew up in Spokane. He tragically died in the line of duty on November 21st after a motorcycle crash. And this is new video from our sister station in Seattle showing the procession to his funeral today. Officer Jackson was a Bellevue police officer for 4 years. Before that, he was a medic and volunteer firefighter. Officer Jackson also served as a volunteer for the King County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue K-9 unit.
Congress held a gold medal ceremony to honor law enforcement officers who protected the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection.
It was a day unlike any other in our nation's history. And for us, it was a day defined by chaos, courage, tragic loss, and resolve. I cannot thank our officers enough for their courage, for their resolve, in order to help us protect the Capitol and the Congress from such a horrific attack.
Every Capitol police officer, Washington, D.C. officer, and every agent who responded received a medal, which is the highest honor Congress can give. During the ceremony, many of the lawmakers who were in the Capitol during the attack thanked them for their service.
On that day, democracy faced maximum danger. These heroes responded with maximum valor. And all of us in the Senate and across the Capitol complex are forever in their debt.
During the presentation, the mother of one of the officers who died during the attack refused to shake hands with 2 Republican lawmakers, calling them two-faced because they continued to support former President Donald Trump, who she blames for the attack.
Freezing drizzle, low clouds, freezing fog. That is going to be a little bit of a memory as we get into Thursday and bring in some more significant snow. In the meantime, we will deal with that very light precipitation that can cause some major problems on the roads, particularly those untreated roads and sidewalks. 34 high tomorrow. Freezing drizzle to start the day. It is going to be another gray day with a sunset in the 3 o'clock hour. Forecast radar starting off at our current time. The freezing drizzle not only does not show up on radar, it does not show up very well on our computer models as well, but all the conditions favor that light freezing drizzle, and it is in progress around the region. But we will keep with the clouds and fog around the area through tomorrow evening. Then as we get into Thursday, our first in a series of snow systems moves in. Here's 10 o'clock on Thursday, and that snow will stay with us through this time Thursday evening, with more overnight into the Friday morning commute. Here's a look at some of the metro totals that we may see with this system. If anything, some of these 1 to 2 inch range may be on the low side, could be closer to 2 to 3 inches, but it is still a little ways away, so we will update you as that that system approaches. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the teens and 20s in most locations, single digits in Winthrop. Highs tomorrow in the 30s, just barely in Spokane, and 20s for Moses Lake, Ritzville, Sandpoint, and Bonners Ferry. We have snow coming in on Thursday, possibly lingering into Friday morning. Certainly the effects will be. Another system on Saturday, which could bring even more snow, a stronger system lingering into Sunday, and another one on Monday. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. A small family-owned farm on the South Hill is now dealing with major cleanup following a fire. It's going to cost the farm thousands of dollars.
The owner of Sweet Mercy Farm says the damage could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for the quick-thinking neighbors. Sunday afternoon, Sweet Mercy Farm owner Lucas Miranda got an unexpected call from his neighbor who told him his property was on fire. With neighbors quick thinking, the fire was out quickly.
If our neighbors didn't see the fire, I mean, we weren't planning on being home for hours, so the damage would have been probably even much worse.
Well, Miranda says the fire damage was over $10,000, but he's hoping to get things back to normal by early next year. He says the community support for his farm and family has been pouring in since this fire.
A new study now shows more people are especially wasteful this time of year. Researchers at Stanford University say between Thanksgiving and the New Year, people throw away 25% more trash. That's about 25 million extra tons of garbage. Spokane Refillery is a local downtown business trying to change this trend during the holidays and beyond. The shop is a refill station, meaning you bring a jug or a jar and you fill up on several different household supplies like soaps, shaving creams, and cleaners. The owner says you can also find gifts that won't go to waste.
It's good for the environment. If you're gifting it to someone, it's really just opening that door for them. You're really getting, depending on what it is, a forever product. If you get them a stasher bag or the reusable paper towels, they're gonna have those forever.
Owner Hannah Nelson says the holidays are a great time to introduce your friends and family to simple lifestyle changes that will go a long way to helping the environment.
Well, scammers don't take a break during the holidays. This year, scams are at an all-time high, and experts say they're more sophisticated than ever.
I think in years past, you had a person sitting in their parents' basement, maybe with a hoodie. Things have changed dramatically. It is an organized crime.
Social media is a goldmine for scammers, so beware of ads containing suspicious links. Check that you're on the official store website and look out for fraudsters posing as banks or retailers claiming that your order didn't go through.
Keep in mind that no financial institution will call and ask you for your credentials. No financial institution or store will ask you for your username, your password. They're not going to ask you to transfer data or transfer money into different accounts.
When possible, pay with a credit card for better fraud protection instead of debit or prepaid cards, and trust your gut. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Pfizer is countersuing Moderna over its patent infringement claims against them. This all started when Moderna sued Pfizer in August, saying the company violated patents on 3 key innovations on their COVID vaccines. In their countersuit, Pfizer asked the court to dismiss Moderna's lawsuit. Moderna is also in a public dispute with the National Institutes of Health over intellectual property rights.
And still to come, which Washington State football players will be key in next week's bowl game.
Later tonight on Nightline, the addiction grabbing underage gamblers with just a few clicks. Online sports betting, why it's so easy to get hooked, and what parents should know. Plus, the team summiting mountains and accepting no boundaries.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
I'm sorry, sir. You forgot this.
Wait, you?
Customer service.
Your employees work hard for you. Give them a health plan that works harder for them. From Primera Blue Cross, with more options to fit your business needs and budget. Because your employees depend on it. Find your plan at business.primera.com.
The best holiday moments are even better when shared. Experience more together in the Mazda CX-9. With a refined performance of standard I-Active all-wheel drive and a wish list of interior comforts. Find yours during the season of inspiration.
The 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Get it for your family, drive it for yourself. Come take a test drive today at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Every holiday season, Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots collects thousands of toys for less fortunate children during the Christmas holidays.
We're thankful for all our donations and all our wonderful volunteers who bring joy to children during our 75th anniversary of Toys for Tots.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Toys for Tots as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
Here we grow again. Even more fun is headed to Spokane Tribe Casino. You love Caesar Sportsbook, the grill and bar, and larger variety of games we recently added. Gear up for a new food court, a completely smoke-free gaming area, a state-of-the-art entertainment venue, and more. Things just keep getting better. You're in for guaranteed Holly Jolly wins of free slot play, gift cards, or up to $1,000 cash. Play the Santa's Workshop kiosk game this December at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Soon the Kalispell tribe will have restricted public services following a vote overnight by the Airway Heights City Council. The council pointed to more than $1.5 million in contract payments the tribe owes, saying the city cannot afford to subsidize the high volume of police and fire calls coming from tribal property. So starting December 31st, the city will only respond to police, fire, and emergency calls from tribal property where there's an imminent threat to human life. The Kalispell tribe is calling the vote an unfortunate decision, saying, quote, the city of Airway Heights has failed to provide the services the Kalispell tribe has contracted and paid for. The Kalispell tribe has been attempting to work with the city to amicably resolve the issue. Unfortunately, the city's actions appear to be an attempt to circumvent this process using public threats to extract disputed payments from the tribe, end quote. The Kalispell tribe owns 40 acres of land for its casino operations and 250 acres of land within the city limits allocated for commercial, residential, and industrial uses.
A Manhattan jury has found 2 Trump Organization companies guilty of criminal tax fraud, and now former President Donald Trump's real estate company could face a $1.6 million fine. Trump and his family have not been charged, but the 2 Trump Organization entities have been convicted on all 15 counts they faced, including tax fraud, falsifying business records, conspiracy, and related crimes. And during the 4-week trial, prosecutors alleged that for 15 years, the Trump Organization helped top executives avoid income taxes on things like rent, private school tuition, and luxury cars. A spokesperson for the Trump Organization responding to the guilty verdict saying, quote, the notion that a company could be held responsible for an employee's actions to benefit themselves on their own personal tax returns is simply preposterous. Though Trump is not personally being charged, experts say this guilty verdict for his family's real estate business is a devastating day for him and his bid for the presidency in 2024.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have a winter weather advisory until noon tomorrow because of the freezing drizzle, freezing fog, and possibly a few snow flurries. It is going to be slick on untreated roads, sidewalks, parking lots. And then we have some snow on Thursday, much easier to predict and a little more of what we're used to. Here is a look at the temperature profiles for various types of precipitation. They start up in the clouds. It all starts as snow. The blue is cold air, the red is warm air. Rain falls through the warm air and turns to liquid. Freezing rain, which is very similar in appearance to freezing drizzle, but very different in the way it's formed, falls through the warmer air, melts, and then refreezes as it falls into the cool air at the surface, or the cold air rather. Snow, meanwhile, is cold from the cloud all the way to the ground. Freezing drizzle does not start as snow, and it does not start in clouds higher in the atmosphere. It starts in the low clouds and fog at the surface in the air that is below freezing all the way through the cloud. It is super cooled water droplets. So it's moisture in the form of tiny water droplets that stay liquid all the way below freezing and can stay as liquid to 40 below zero. Super cooled. However, once it touches the surface, say your car windshield or your door handle or the street in front of your house, it freezes immediately on contact. It's very difficult to predict. Our radar beam goes right above it, so we can't even really detect it unless people at home let us know that it's happening or we see it ourselves. So it is tricky. I'm looking forward to just a good old snowstorm with a cold front. That's coming in on Thursday. Lynn O'Neill shared this pic of the night tonight from the Pend Oreille River. I find the beauty, and I'm a winter enthusiast, but I find beauty in these gray skies and white sort of monochromatic scenes. Very moody there along the Pend Oreille River just outside of Newport. Thank you, Lynn.
Chris, thank you. Well, Gonzaga women's basketball was shorthanded against Queens University tonight. How the Bulldogs plan to move forward with more than half of their team sitting out.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Pawn One.
Do you hear what I hear?
It's country music's most magical night of the year. CMA Country Christmas.
Come Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus.
With performances by Dan and Shay, Scotty McCreery, The War and Treaty, Molly Tuttle, Old Dominion, Stephen Curtis Chapman, and Maren Morris.
Merry Christmas!
Gather the whole family as Carly Pierce hosts CMA Country Christmas, Thursday on ABC.
At Good Morning Northwest, we have one goal.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
Breaking news this morning, and breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
Tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
It's time to say yes to your healthcare story. The Washington Health Plan Finder helps you find new health plan options like Cascade Care. These plans cover primary care visits, mental health services, and generic drugs all before meeting a deductible. Start your next chapter off right by enrolling in your 2023 health plan at wahealthplanfinder.org. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll now.
In therapy, there is promise. Each step forward is an achievement and a gift of hope. And at each hurdle, an encouraging hand. Joya, every child is limitless.
Don't turn to that crutch in life that you think is going to get you by, but it's ultimately going to take over your life. I mean, you go from being a productive member of society to not having changed your clothes in a month, not knowing the last time you bathed, and feeling worthless. You have worth. There is hope.
The Gonzaga team doctors have been busy. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenstone. Gonzaga women's hoops has been playing with a skeleton crew of late. A flurry of injuries and illnesses led to Gonzaga only having 7 available players for tonight's game against Queens University of Charlotte. Luckily for the Zags, they still had one of their best players out there, Yvonne Ejim. Ejim had herself a game. She comes up with the big defensive play in the steal right there. And she also had a career high 32 points. Gonzaga only had 7 players. Well, no problem, because the Bulldogs still win 73-49. Ejim's 32 points was just 6 points shy of the Gonzaga single game scoring record of 38 points. No history tonight, but 32 points, Ejim will take it.
I always get updates about like a lot of players in our program, all around athletics and stuff like that, just like breaking records and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, this is my classmate. So it's kind of cool to like just like be able to like experience that as well. I feel like that's something that I can definitely like be proud of today.
And next time you see the Washington State football team running out of a tunnel, it will be at SoFi Stadium for the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. A couple players on the roster will go into that game with a few more accolades to their name. Cougars linebacker Deion Henley was named to the All-Pac-12 first team. Henley is the first Washington State linebacker to earn first team honors since 2003. Henley is second in the Pac-12 in tackles as well. Now, defensive lineman Ron Stone Jr. and Brennan Jackson earned Pac-12 second team honors. Safety Jaden Hicks was named a freshman All-American. The Seattle Seahawks paid a surprise visit to patients at Providence Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Spokane today. The players signed autographs, took pictures, and gave away some Seahawks swag. Now, the patients look at these football players as role models. In return, the Seahawks wanted to make these patients feel like superstars.
Block. Going deep downfield.
The Seattle Seahawks are known for making a difference as receivers.
Touchdown Seahawks.
This time, they're making a difference by giving to others.
Would you like this?
Yeah.
Would. Giving hope and putting smiles on anybody's faces that I can.
I never got a chance, meet an NFL athlete. So me being an NFL athlete now, I want to meet as many kids as I possibly can.
Like Central Valley High School's Brandon Thomas, who had lunch with the players from his favorite team.
As a young kid, I always wanted to play in the NFL, so being with these guys is really cool to see because they're amazing people, and I want to be just like them.
2 years ago, Brandon lost his leg due to cancer.
My amputation never healed because I was going through chemo. Started to have seizures and different effects.
But that didn't stop Brandon from returning to the field. Brandon learned how to play with a prosthetic leg and finished his high school career.
Probably doesn't even know it, but he's inspiring me, to hear about everything that he's gone through. To be where he is right now.
The Seahawks visited nearly 40 patients.
Merry Christmas. God bless y'all.
Brandon's triumph was just one of the many inspiring stories the players heard today.
When you see somebody smile at you and the joy that they give you, it's like sometimes you're wondering, how can you see this amount of joy in me when you might not feel like you're the best of yourself? So being able to see those smiles to them, like I said, it does a lot.
For the Seahawks, no big play could compare to the big smiles on the patients' faces.
It's the holidays, you want to be with your family, and you can't. And just taking time out of your week, out of our busy schedule, and just coming to see the kids, I know it's going to make their day.
And the Seahawks' annual visit to Sacred Heart has been on hiatus for the last 2 years due to COVID. The team is happy to be back in Spokane for what they hope is years to come. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
We were scrambling to figure out what are we going to do. Got phone call from Numerica. We've got funding that we're sending your way.
Thank you so much for all your support. It actually means something greatly to us.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
This holiday season, Walker's Furniture and Drew Timmy are teaming up with the help of KXLY to give some person or family in need the gift of a better night's sleep.
My favorite color is purple.
Just go to KXLY.com and nominate the person or family who could use a new mattress. And on December 21st, we'll announce the winner.
Thank you, KXLY, for helping Walker's Furniture and myself spread the word for this great cause. Together, we can make a difference.
Providence has been focused on meeting the needs of the community for over 160 years. And we are honored to bring you top-rated Medicare Advantage coverage. Providence plans start at just $0 and include dental, hearing, and vision. Experience the difference of a community of care, united by compassionate coverage. Providence, join us as we make community stronger by building true health together.
Celebrate the season in style with Spokane Symphony Holiday Pops. Join the orchestra, chorale, and jazz singer Jake Bergevin for an evening of holiday favorites at the Fox. Visit SpokaneSymphony.org or call 509-624-1200.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. A lot going on. Some measurable snow coming in Thursday. A larger system on Saturday we're keeping an eye on, and then one on Monday too, with temperatures for the most part staying below freezing. It's It's going to be piling up around here.
Yeah, keep it coming. We gotta have it.
Then all melt on December 26th. Isn't that what most people like?
Yeah, just after. That's what we need. Okay, there's a dairy-free cream cheese that we want to tell you about. I don't understand this. It's a plant-based cream cheese, and it has bean oil and some proteins and other ingredients.